Okay, so it's been a couple weeks since the Breezy Bowl, since I went to the Breezy Bowl, and I just want to share my experience. I've been getting a whole bunch of DMs since the concert asking what happened and if I could do like a story time on my experience. Let me start off by saying, before all you Breezy fans come in my comments, I want to start off by saying I understand that a person can have a preference, but there is a very distinctive difference between having a preference and discrimination and humiliating your fans or someone who's coming to support you because of their skin tone. So to make a long story short, I was personally invited to the Breezy Bowl, to the Chris Brown concert. This is not my first time being personally invited to a concert. I have been personally invited and have VIP experience at multiple concerts, from Little Baby to Rod Wave to Don Toliver to Drake. So this is not my first rodeo. This is not nothing that don't happen to me often, but this is the first time that I was ever humiliated, and I felt like my time was wasted. So to make a long story short, I was personally invited to the Breezy Bowl by someone who works alongside Chris Brown as well as other celebrities, like a whole bunch of celebrities. So basically, I was personally invited to the concert. I know my closest friend that I went to the concert with a couple weeks before I was invited, she expressed that she wanted to go. And if I have the access to go without her having to spend a dime and have the VIP experience that I'm used to and that I know I was supposed to have and that I was promised, why not make it happen? So when I was personally invited, obviously I didn't hesitate to say yes because, like I said, my friend, she really wanted to go. One of my closest friends really wanted to go. And then I went with two of my friends. One of my friends is dark skinned like me, and then my other friend is Puerto Rican, so she's light skinned. Remember that. Put that in your head as this story goes on. So we are all from Cleveland, Ohio. We drove from Cleveland to Detroit for the show, I want to say about 4 weeks ago. Whole time I'm in communication with the person that personally invited me to the concert. To my knowledge, he was in London. Like I said, he worked alongside a lot of celebrities. He has access to a lot of celebrities and people in the industry, so he's always working. And he really doesn't like, coming to the East Coast where we are in America. Like Cleveland, Detroit is not his cup of tea when he do visit America. So I'm in communication with, my friend, my connection to the concert. And he's telling me, yeah, I'm leaving your tickets at the box office, how we usually do, your wristbands, VIP passes, whatever, at the box office under your name. Now, this is before the actual day of the concert that, we're talking about initially him leaving my tickets at the box office. So once we get to Detroit the day of the concert, I spoke with the guy, the person who works alongside Chris Brown, and he basically told me I was all set. He left my tickets at the box office. Chris Brown's manager, I have them at the box office with my name on them, so I just got to go get them. So me and my friends are on our way to the concert. We're in our Uber, and I get a text message from the guy, and he's like, Chris Brown's manager is going to meet you at this location. He sent a pin location, and he's like, get there by 7:15. He's going to walk you personally to the VIP platform so you can watch the show from the VIP platform. So I was a little confused because, like I said, typically he leaves my tickets at box office. I just go give my first and last name, and I get my tickets that way. So I was like, so you don't want me to go to the box office? He's like, no, Chris Brown and his management team does things differently. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I do understand it's a different celebrity. Different celebrity, different management teams do things differently. So I just said, okay. So me and my friends get to the pinned location. I'm on the phone with the guy, and he's like, yeah, I just got off the phone with Boba. He'll be there in a second. He knows that you guys are coming. He's expecting you guys. He's about to come get you plus two other girls. So Boba finally comes to the gate around like 7:15. He comes to the gate. I know it's him because he had a name tag on. His name tag basically said Boba. So I'm like, hey, are you Boba? Are you Chris Brown's manager? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm here with such and such. He said that you would be escorting me and my friends to the VIP platform. And he was like, oh, no, sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands. So mind you, it's 7:10, like 7:05, 7:10. So the concert just started. And I actually saw him have like 50 VIP wristbands in his pocket, but we're going to get there in a second. So he's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any more VIP wristbands left. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, I just got off the phone with such and such. He said that you were expecting me and my friends to come. So he's like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, I can't help you. And he walks away. Doesn't give us a ticket, don't give us any explanation, just that he doesn't have the wristbands. So I immediately get on the phone with my friend that works, with Chris Brown, knows Boba, knows all of them personally. And he's like, what? He's like, he literally just told me that he was coming to get y'all and he was expecting y'all. So he's like, let me call him and see what's going on. So he calls me back and he's just apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know why he's tripping like that, but he doesn't want to give you guys the wristbands. So in the midst of it, I'm like, okay, well, he said he didn't have any left. But in the midst of it, we're standing there waiting for about 30 minutes to an hour. And me and my friends are watching him give girls wristbands that came way after us. And these girls were mixed. They were light-skinned. They were Blasian. They were white. They were, like, they didn't look like. So one of the guys from Chris Brown's entourage that was also with Boba walked up to my Puerto Rican friend and offered her a wristband. And she was like, well, what about my two friends that I'm with? And they're like, we can't help them. So this video is getting a little bit too long, but to make a long story short, we stood there and wasted. We missed Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller because we stood there waiting for somebody to help us for an hour. Boba and the rest of the entourage kept coming up, playing in our faces. They even tried to make us perform for the tickets, like made us spin around, audition, jump up and down on one leg, and stuff that the other women that did not have to do, like the light-skinned girls, the white girls, the mixed girls, they didn't have to do that. They walked up, got their wristbands, were escorted down with no problem. So yeah, after them playing in our face for about an hour, we basically peeped what was going on. We realized we weren't, getting in, and that was that. So after like an hour of us waiting, Boba comes back and he gives us regular tickets, like tickets that were like, up in the sections, like up in the stands or whatever. So, I wasn't like tripping, but I just felt like he was only doing that because I had to basically, not necessarily harass him, but stress to him that we just drove all the way here from Cleveland and we were promised like VIP passes, VIP tickets by such and such. And he said, you knew we were coming. So he basically just gave us the tickets because, I wouldn't let it go. But to make a long story short, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of different details to the events that took place while we were standing there. But this is TikTok. I can't make a whole vlog about it. To make a long story short, those women that they are taking on stage, that Chris Brown is performing for on stage, they are definitely pre-picked and pre-selected from that VIP platform that we were supposed to be standing on, that they're standing on. Which is why Chris Brown has a preference. But you have not one time seen a dark-skinned girl up on that stage, and his entourage, his management, they're only doing what he is instructing for them to do. Which is why you have not seen a woman of my complexion on the stage. All those women look like he's taking on stage because those are the only women that he's given the VIP access passes to make sure of it. I only say that I felt a little humiliated and my time was wasted because, like I said, this is not my first time being personally invited to a concert. This is my first time going, and the person actually looked me dead in my face and said that they were not giving me my passes. I do feel like the reason they don't allow for people to go get their tickets from the box office, how I normally do it, is because they want to see what you look like first. Chris Brown and his team wants to make sure that you pass the paper bag test before you just walk up and they set, basically. And like I said, they're pre-picking those girls. Like, all those girls look alike, and that's why I stood there for an hour, and this man kept saying he didn't have any wristbands left, but he gave away about 50 to women, that fit their criteria. And this isn't any, like, I can't tell you guys who to support, but I just want to let y'all know, like, if y'all wasn't paying to see him, y'all wouldn't be seeing him. So that's just really it. Like, he wouldn't give y'all the time of day. So I just want to let y'all know who y'all supporting.
Good morning, y'all. I'm gonna just be honest. I can't take videos like this serious anymore because what's gonna happen? Nothing. And what I mean by that is that it's been so many videos of darker skinned women saying that Chris Brown does not like them. Now, even though we have never heard Chris Brown out of his mouth say, well, I haven't. I'll keep it a bean. I have not heard Chris Brown say that he do not like dark skinned women. However, if there's so many videos of women saying that, hey, he don't like the security not letting us in, things of that nature, and they're seeing other type of women go in, but it's never the dark skins, and a whole bunch of dark skins are saying the same thing. Hey, bro, there has to be some truth in there, right? So even though Chris Brown may not have said it, why is your security telling them that they can't come in? And why is a lot of these women saying the same thing over and over? And what if Chris Brown not a colorist? And it's just his security doing all that stuff. Okay, well then fire your security. Especially if these women pay for the VIP tickets and they can't get in, and it's always a darker skinned woman. What is the problem? My thing, bro, at the end of the day, this stuff come back to Chris Brown, because you are somewhat responsible. And what make me kind of, well, not upset because I don't care, but what make me look at this with a side eye is like, nigga, out of all the things that people have said about you, this ain't your first time being called a colorist. And I know he's seen it before, but are you seriously? He deactivated majority of his social medias, like TikTok. He not on TikTok, he not on Facebook. Well, I don't know about Facebook. He not on TikTok, and he not on Instagram. This made him deactivate his account. Dog, it is people to this day that is not over the fact that you put pause on Rihanna. But this what got you to deactivate your account. Nah, bro, I don't believe that. And my thing is, all brother gotta do is just get some new security. If it really ain't you doing these things or feeling this way, get you some security, bro. I mean, get you some new security so these darker skinned women won't be denied access. Because at the end of the day, it come back to you, bro. It come back to Chris Brown. But honestly, I am tired of hearing this rumor, these stories has been happening so many times, and I understand that every single dark-skinned woman in the world don't know or have probably come across this type of information, but at the same time, it does get annoying because every 8 months, a year, 6 months, something, there's this thing. Chris Brown don't like us. He don't. Okay, if you believe he don't like you, then why do you keep supporting him? Not the ones that's saying it on the video, but for the ones that may have heard, don't give them your money. Darker or dark-skinned women should remove themselves and remove their support, because you're giving your money to a person who does not like you. Again, never heard Chris Brown say it, but if people keep saying the same thing over the years, there has to be some truth in there, bro. Even if it ain't you personally, you still somewhat accountable for the people that surround you denying these darker skinned women. But it's getting to a point where, like, it's kind of like you grow numb to it, because you hear it so much, and it's like, okay, but y'all still going to the concert. You're still gonna stream his music. You're still gonna go to his concert. You're still gonna try to go to the meet and greet. You feel me? So all this complaining is just, in my opinion, nonsensical. The best way to make a stand, matter of fact, why you shouldn't even want the approval of somebody who don't like you anyway. But the best way to take a stand is for you to withdraw your support. He'll be all right. He got millions of dollars. His family gonna be good. He gonna be good for life. And if it's one thing that I learned, because when I said something about this, especially on TikTok and on Facebook, I got women coming after me, and I didn't even say nothing. I didn't disrespect Chris Brown or nothing. All on TikTok, I got women up under that, like, just defending him. So it's like, yeah, I see how this gonna go. It's a whole bunch of women defending. He's allowed to have a preference, but you gotta ask yourself sometimes, like, listen, I like that whole preference stuff, bro, is something that has to be addressed. But a colorist, why do you have a preference? You don't think that there's an issue that you need to resolve inside to why you would have a preference of anything lighter than a dark skin? That's still weird. That's weird. So I got women getting mad at me, and all I said in the video was, hey, Chris Brown, if people saying the same thing about you, then you somewhat then it has to be true to some extent, because this keeps happening. And then what I did was turn around and say to darker skinned women, because that was who I was trying to target, right? When I was addressing it, I was like, hey, the best thing y'all could do is just stop supporting them, stop giving them your money. You have to choose whether your money is worth seeing Chris Brown, because if he doesn't like you, then stop giving him your money, right? I got backlash for saying that. I was nice. I didn't say nothing bad about Chris Brown character. I didn't disrespect him. You had women saying I'm jealous. What? Not women. I'm sorry. One woman on Facebook. Jealous? For what? I was mostly talking to the women. I was mostly saying, man, like, yeah, you have the power to like, you know, make a difference. Stop supporting them. And they took that out of context. And then it's a whole bunch of women just defending them. So I was like, hey, man, I see how it is. Bro, Chris Brown is undefeatable. Because, and again, I don't have no problem with the dude. I want the dude to continue getting his bag. I want him to, obviously, I don't wish no death on him, nothing. I think he's very talented. But what I realized is that, hey, as long as you are the type of woman to be liked by a man who doesn't like something else, everything gonna go. That's what I learned with this whole situation. I was like, okay, that's I see how this gonna play out. And again, didn't even say nothing wrong. However, hey man, colorism is not good. There's a issue that needs to be resolved in a lot of black folks. You really need to go deeper and ask yourself, why do you prefer something lighter than dark? And a lot of dark-skinned women are hated for no reason. And these are some beautiful women, bro. Like, I don't understand. All shades of black are beautiful, bro. But hey, I don't know what to tell you. The point of me making this video, I can't really I can't really take videos like this serious anymore, because if darker skinned women are still going to support him with all the information that's out now, then what's the point of complaining anymore? So, you know, he took a little social media break. Hopefully he'll be in good health. Hopefully he'll come back and maybe learn from this experience, and maybe he'll go deeper to like, if he actually does have a colorism problem, if he actually is a color, maybe he can, you know, go to therapy and try to get to the root causes of why he feels the way he feels. A lot of people in our community are colorists. It's not just Chris Brown. It's not just Chris Brown. If it is a Chris Brown, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Y'all stay blessed and encouraged in Jesus' name. I'm out.